Good morning, students. Our lesson for today is reduced relative clause. A relative clause is a type of subordinate clause. It is used in order to modify or adapt or describe a noun or a pronoun. Relative clauses are always dependent. Relative clauses must contain both a verb and a subject, and always being with the words who, whom, that, which, when, whose, why, or where, or any variation of these words. A relative clause is so called as it relates directly to the noun which it is adapting or describing. A reduced relative clause is a relative clause that is not marked by an explicit relative pronoun such as who, which, or that. For example, the man wearing the funny yellow hat is my cousin Jane. We could have written this sentence, the man who is wearing, but we are shortening the sentence. So that is why instead of writing the man who is wearing, we have written the man wearing the yellow hat is my cousin Jane. There are two ways in which the reduced relative clause can be interpreted. The first is that in which a type of non-finite clause is headed by a past participle. For example, the florist sent the flowers to the widow. Here, from sent till the end of the sentence, that is widow, it is the reduced relative clause. And the other way in which a reduced relative clause can be interpreted is given. The second way of interpreting the reduced relative clause is the garden path effect. That is, when the sentence has a phrase or word with an ambiguous meaning and the reader interprets in a certain way, and when they read the whole sentence, there is a difference in what has been read and what was expected. There are few ways in which we can reduce relative clauses to phrases. The first way is that we have to omit the relative pronoun, that is who, which, or that, and the be form of the verb, that is, was, or were, when the relative clause is the subject of the clause. For example, the girl who sits next to Peter is my neighbor. Here, who sits, it can be changed to the girl sitting next to Peter is my neighbor. The second way by which the clauses can be reduced to phrases is that we often drop the relative pronoun and change the verb to its ing form when the adjective clause do not contain the be verb. For example, most people who were invited to the party did not turn up. Here we can reduce it as most people invited. Instead of writing who were invited, we have written invited. So most people invited to the party did not turn up. And the third way is that the adjective clauses can be reduced to appositive phrases. That is, appositive phrases is formed by simply placing one noun or noun phrase next to another with a comma between them. For example, Mr. Gupta, who is our teacher, is very fond of books. Here, who is our teacher? Instead of writing who is our teacher, we can just write Mr. Gupta, comma, and then our teacher is very fond of book. Please do the exercise given below in your classwork exercise book and send all your homeworks by tomorrow to the mail address given below.